Hi everyone, and thanks for tuning in to another Hangout on Air. My name is Mairead and I work on the AdWords team here in Dublin. I'm joined by my colleague Ruth.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
And today we are going to be talking you through how to set up a search campaign. So if you're a new advertiser and you're looking to get started on the right foot, this is the place to be. However, if you're just looking for a quick refresher or a few tips, please stay tuned in. Also, if you're joined via our Google Plus page, we have enabled the Q&A app, so please feel free to get in touch with any of your questions as we're going along. It always helps to have a bit of interaction along the way. Also, if you're logged into the AdWords community, feel free to post any questions or feedback that you might have.
Great. So today, guys, we're going to start off with a very basic search campaign that we set up earlier today, and we're going to make improvements to it just to make sure you're really capitalizing on it and really receiving your return on your investment. Okay, it's also really important for us to understand the goals of why you're advertising. So today we're going to be advertising Luigi's Pizza. So it's a pizza restaurant based in New York. Now this pizza restaurant has got a sit-in facility, but it also has a delivery function. So it's really important for us to always bear in mind that we want the ad groups and the keywords to target those two different users, those who want a sit-in restaurant and those who also want a delivery option. Okay, so let's go back to basics and we'll look at an overview of an account setup just to refresh ourselves. So the account level settings here, guys, they refer to your unique email and password, so your login details, and also your billing information that you include across all of your campaigns. Okay, and the campaign settings are the next level, and these refer to the settings on each individual campaign. So they will include your respective budget, the settings across all of those campaigns, so they can include your location settings and things like bid adjustments, for example. And then below that, we have the ad groups, and these are more of the editorial settings used to target individual goals. So the ads and the keywords related to your restaurant facility, and then the ads and keywords related to your pizza delivery, for example. What this allows us to do is make sure that we're showing the right ads to the right keywords. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do is go back to the account that we have here. So let's look at a top line overview of what we got going on. So it's our pizza campaign, and as you can see, we've got some very basic standard search features. Okay, we have our budget of £3 a day, and we're targeting roughly all of the United States. Okay, in our ad groups, we have one ad group, and then in that we have one ad, very basic ad setup with a few keywords on broad match. So as you can see, we have the bones of a campaign here, but it's far from ideal, and that's what we're going to go through today.
Perfect. Thanks, Ruth. Now, somewhere where I would always start with an advertiser is, as Ruth has pointed out, your campaign settings. You need to have these settings down to exactly how you want to promote your ad to your customers, or else we're not going to achieve our goals. So what I'm going to do now is actually go through our campaign settings step by step and show you the changes I would make to make sure we're getting the most out of it. So firstly, we're just going to navigate to our settings tab, and we can see that we have below here all settings and devices. I just want you to bear this in mind for when we change our next setting. So as you can see here, we have our campaign name, which is Pizza Campaign. This is purely for yourself, and this can be whatever you want it to be. It's just for keeping it easy for you. Now we have our campaign type. As I said, in this tutorial, what we're going to be talking about is the search network. However, we have multiple different types of campaigns, such as display network, search network with display select. However, something I want to draw your attention to here is the fact we're on search network only standard. My first protocol is change this to all features. So what does that mean? Firstly, and most importantly, upgrading to all features is completely free. However, we have access now to lots more features, such as different delivery methods. And as I mentioned to you earlier, to keep an eye on the fact we had all settings and devices, you'll see now we have two new tabs, such as locations and ad schedule. Another brilliant feature for this is we have different access to ad formats. So if you're on standard, upgrade it. Let's go down now to your networks, and as we talked about, we're only showing on our search network, and we can see here that we specified that our network is search. The next thing we need to be thinking about is, what devices am I happy to be showing on? So let's just go in and have a look at our options here. Now, in this campaign setting, what you can see is we have mobile devices with full prices, which is minus 100%. So what that's saying to our users is we're not going to show the ad on mobile. However, considering that we're a pizza and we want people to call us in so they can get a takeaway, I'm actually going to go the other way with this. So the first thing that you could do is have it as decreased by 0%. So what this is actually saying is I'm happy to show on mobile. However, like I said, we really want to get those calls. We really want to be showing up on mobile. So I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to increase it by 10% because I think showing on mobile is particularly important. Let's just go back and review the rest of our settings. Next up is locations. So as Ruth has pointed out, we're targeting the whole of the United States, but our lovely restaurant isn't going to be able to serve the entire United States. This is what we need to do. We need to make it more targeted. As Ruth mentioned, we're going to be looking at New York. So let's add this in here. Some advertisers aren't aware, though, that you can get even more targeted with this. So let's try an advanced search. If we have a look in here, we can use one of my favorite features, which is radius targeting. So let's go in and let's say I really want those customers from Manhattan. So let's have a look at that. And I'm going to say maybe I want 10 miles around Manhattan is really important for me. Now, as you can see, we have this beautiful radius targeting on our map. So let's say that you know that your restaurant or your business is located in a particular area. We really aren't sure where the customers are coming from. So let's get it in a catch-all area. Let's do a radius targeting. Add. Then we'll press done. And we're going to remove United States. Now, next up, we set our languages to English. And you can do any variation of languages in here. What's really important to remember is we don't translate your ads. So if you're going to choose Bulgarian or Arabic, the ads are still only going to appear in English. So considering I'm operating in New York, we're going to keep it like that. The last thing here to focus on, as Ruth said, is your budget and your bidding strategy. So your budget can ultimately be whatever you want. You need to sit down and think about how much money are you willing to spend for return on investment and then pop it in here. However, I just want to go through a separate bidding option with you. So in this example, we have focus on clicks, manual, maximum CPC bidding. What this means is you yourself will have to go in and enter in the bids for each of the keywords because you're manually controlling it. However, in this case, I'm feeling a bit lazy, so I want to automate it. So what I'm going to do is let AdWords do all the hard work for me. So I'm going to choose AdWords will set my bids to help maximize clicks within my target budget. Now, what's really important here is don't forget to put in a CPC bid limit. So in this case, my budget's only £3, so I'm not willing to go over 50p for one click, meaning that I'm minimum going to get 6 clicks out of my budget. I'm going to go ahead and click save. So they're the main areas that we want to look through in your campaign settings. We really can't stress enough that you need to go in here and make sure that everything is exactly how you want it before you start running your ads.
Perfect. So the next part we're going to move on to, guys, is our ad group structure. So just to summarize again, this is how we divide our campaign into the relevant goals. So we're going to create today one ad group for the pizza restaurant aspect, so the sit-in side of it, and another for the delivery so that we can really capture those kinds of users. Okay, so to go back, let's look at the ad group that we have here currently. Okay, we have a very basic ad group 1. And we have keywords that are related to both of those. So I'm going to actually make this ad group about my restaurant. Okay, so I'm going to just change that. And then I'm going to scroll down. Now that's just for your own reference. Okay, so I'm going to change my keywords, guys, to really include the restaurant aspect. So I guess I understand. I'm going to put this as well, guys, on phrase match. Let's put pizza sit in. Let's add some different kinds of keywords, guys, that are related to restaurants, okay, and sit-in cafes, okay? So why don't we put in local pizza restaurant? Why don't we also put in a couple of other ones? Pizza restaurant New York, for example. Okay, so these are some options here, guys. Now I'm just going to take a brief second to talk through some of the match types that we can have across the different keywords. So for the majority here, we have them on broad match, which means our ads are eligible to show for any of these words. So for the example, the word pizza and then the word restaurant by itself. But it's probably better for us to be as specific as possible. This means that users have to be looking for a pizza restaurant in order for our ad to show, which is why I made this word here, phrase match. So we can do that with the rest of them here by ticking them, select edit, select change match types, and we're going to change these from broad match to phrase match and select make changes. So now I'm going to go back, guys, to my next ad group. So we're going to name this one Pizza Delivery. So let's make the ad here purely related to delivery, okay? So why don't we say Luigi's Pizza, great Italian pizza. Let's say fast, efficient delivery. Okay, and that means that this ad is purely related to pizza delivery. And let's add some keywords that are related to that. So let's write pizza delivery, deliver pizza, fast pizza delivery, for example, guys. Now, we'd recommend every ad group having a keyword list of about 10 to 20 words. I'm just going to put in 3 for an example. Okay. So what I've done now is saved my ad group, and I'm going to remember to pop these on phrase match. Make changes. And don't forget when you're setting up a new ad group just to change your bid, because right now we have it as a default of 1p, but I'm just going to make sure that we have it in the 50p setting, guys, and we can go back and do that in the settings that Marita set up. But for now, there's just one more thing I'd like to just add, and that's to bring your mind to negative keywords. So negative keywords are a great way of eliminating searches from our campaign so that our ads don't show for certain words. This allows you to achieve the maximum return on your budget because you're not paying for clicks that aren't relevant to your business. So you can set these keywords at an ad group level or at a campaign level. Now I'm going to add some negative keywords at a campaign level that I don't want any of my ads to show for. So let's click on add keywords. Now my restaurant advertises for a sit-in restaurant and pizza delivery. I'm not, say, advertising for jobs at the moment, so I'm going to pop in job. I'm going to pop in jobs instead. I'm going to say recruitment. I'm going to say vacancy. So what this does is just eliminates my ads from showing for any queries related to these words, allowing us, as I said, to achieve the maximum return on investment.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for running us through that, Ruth. So just to reiterate exactly what Ruth is saying, ad groups are so important for separating out your products and services. And just to bear in mind, because a really common question that we'd get here is, how do I know when I should set up a campaign or when should I set up an ad group? Just think in your mind, do you need to set up a separate budget or a separate location? Because these, as I showed you, can only be done at the campaign level. If not, then as Ruth has shown up, we'll go ahead and set up an ad group. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is ad extensions. Again, a really common question we would get is, how can I take up more room on the page? How can I make my ad stand out? So for this, ad extensions is a great way to go. And what I'm going to show you now are 3 particular ones, such as call extensions, location extensions, and site links. However, there are a lot of different ad extensions that you can use, including our newest one, call out extensions. So let's get started and show you a demonstration of this. So we'll navigate here to our Add Extensions tab. Now, the first thing we want to look at, as you can see here, is View Site Link Extensions. Now, site link extensions, just to give you a brief overview of what they are clickable links below your ad. So what's absolutely brilliant about site links is they really help increase your click-through rate. So if you want to link to a really popular page on your site, you can do this. Another thing which is absolutely brilliant about site links is that it minimizes your work, because you don't need to make the new text ads or edit them. You can actually set them up at the account level and apply them for all of your ads, which really is very handy. The next thing is that you can update them extremely easy, and I'm going to show you how to set one up now, but it's very simple to get these started, and they really do make all the difference. So let's go in and click on plus extension. So in here, for example, the first place that we would start is to click on a new site link. In here you can put whatever you want, but try and make it stand out and catchy so that people are more likely to click on it, and then you would place in your link URL. What's also important to notice, you can have a device preference. So let's say you really want to only show the site link on a mobile, you can click here. And another thing that's really important is you can have start and end dates. So something I would see commonly with advertisers is they might be running a special offer for a specified period. So they will put in here maybe the 1st of January to the 15th of January, and their link text and link URL will all be directing to this special offer. Now what we're going to do then is, as I've already got a couple set up, to make sure we enable them, all you have to do is click on that little right hand arrow and you can see it here, online delivery menu, and we're done. The next one, and again this comes up all the time with people saying, I want to put my phone number into my ad, I want to make sure that people can call me, and especially considering myself and Ruth are running a takeaway, we definitely want to have this call extension in here. So let's go ahead and choose, and as I mentioned, these are all the different options, but like I said, we're just going to be focusing on 3 today. So let's jump into our call extensions. Now, call extensions are brilliant because we're trying to encourage calls to your business by showing a phone number with your ad. You may have seen this yourself, but this can display a clickable call button when people are searching on a high-end mobile device. So this means that if I have my ad for a takeaway pizza and the little phone beside it, all those hungry customers can click and get through to me straight away. The next thing, which is also incredibly important, is to set them up completely free, to have them showing with your ad completely free. And if someone decides to click on this, the cost is the same as a headline click. So all the more reason to have them. And lastly, call extensions typically increase click-through rate by 6 to 8%. And again, all important for that quality score and trying to boost up your ad rank. And again, this is exactly the same way that we would set up our new site link. You can see here that we have a white box which shows the phone number. Beneath that we have plus new phone number. Now you can put in whatever phone number you want. What's really interesting and what I wanted to highlight to you here is you can actually choose a Google forwarding number. So what this means is Google will show a number on your behalf, and this makes it all the more important for tracking conversions. So by having this number, again completely free, Google will actually be able to tell you when people called. Just make sure that you go through here and set count calls as phone conversions and make sure that you set up this conversion. So I have my number all ready to go here, popping it across, and I'm going to click save. Now, the last one is location extensions. Location extensions encourage people to visit you in person. So whereas the call extensions are really important for me and Ruth trying to get our takeaways, we want to use our location extensions to try and attract people who are out and about. So a location extension is linked up to your Google My Business account. You can add multiple addresses by doing this. So a Google My Business page is completely free also, and what we would do is link it up to your account. From there we can set up the location extension. Now this is brilliant because you can show up with the map marker, you can show up with directions, and you can get people right from their phones to your doorstep. And again, on average, these location extensions will boost up your click-through rate by 10%. Now we don't have a Google My Business account linked at the moment, but just to show you, this is where we would do it. Again, so you would have to first sync up your account, and then you can either choose particular locations, all locations, totally dependent on where you want your location to be shown. So for example, if myself and Ruth's Pizza joint actually expanded all throughout the United States, we would pick different locations for each of these. So like I said, make as much use as you can of our ad extensions, because ultimately we're trying to boost up quality score and your click-through rate.
That's great. Well, perfect. I think that covers part 1 of our search campaign series. Thanks so much, Marie, for joining me today as well.
No problem.
So, guys, we have an option here today that is all about the search campaign series, but next week we're running one that's completely about the display campaigns. So it's really good for you to tune in and get some advice on that. Our next Hangout on Air, which is that, will be the exact same time next week. So don't forget though, in the meantime, if you're ever having trouble with any of your AdWords accounts, you can contact us through various platforms such as our UKI Hangouts. You can do it by 24-hour chat support or else by phone and email. Okay, but apart from that, from myself and Ray, we'd like to wish you both a great day and best of luck with your future advertising.
Bye.
Bye, guys.